everybody? Hope this finds you doing well. This is Danelle, and today we're going to talk about some of the top stories over the past week in the cryptocurrency and NFT space. As usual, let's jump into the cryptocurrency markets. As you can see here, Bitcoin is currently trading at around $23,486. It's down approximately 4.23% over the last 7 days, and Ethereum still in that $1,600 range, trading at $1,631, and it's down approximately 3.32%. And you can also see some of the other top cryptocurrencies have been down over this past week, as well as in the stock market. The crypto market is basically going in line with the stock market this past week as we received numbers regarding the core PCE. So if you don't know, core PCE is the measurement that the Federal Reserve, the U.S. Federal Reserve, prefers as a gauge as to what's actually happening with regards to inflation. You may have heard in mainstream news and it affecting the cryptocurrency and stock market, because if inflation continues to go higher, the Federal Reserve will continue to raise interest rates. And we've talked about this a little bit in previous episodes, that if the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates, that's obviously going to affect consumers like me and you when it comes to mortgages, when it comes to credit cards, things of that nature. Anything where you're trying to lend or borrow money, it's going to be a lot more expensive to do so. And they're doing this to try to drive down prices, as we see inflation with the prices that we pay for gas, the prices that we pay for food, the prices that we pay for different services. Everything is going up in price. That's inflation. So the Federal Reserve is trying to get it down. And by doing that, part of that solution is supposed to be them raising these interest rates. But right now we're starting to see that we still are running hot on inflation. So PCE is a price index that is reported by the Bureau of Economic Analysis, and it includes how much is spent on goods and services, durable and non-durable. The term personal consumption expenditure refers to the measure of consumer spending. And let's just look at this quick video. It gives you a general idea of what PCE is and why the Federal Reserve chooses to use it. Let's run this real quick.
Personal consumption expenditures, or PCE, is a measure of price changes in consumer goods and services. The Bureau of Economic Analysis and the Department of Commerce published the PCE report. It's one of two broad measures of price fluctuations and consumer behavior in the United States. The other is the Consumer Price Index, which measures the weighted average price of a basket of consumer goods and services. The PCE shows how much households are spending and what they're spending their income on. While the CPI follows a fixed basket of goods and services, the PCE accounts for changes in consumption based on the idea that if a good becomes too expensive, consumers will use a cheaper alternative. When steak gets too pricey, consumers may substitute hamburger, for example. The PCE measures data pertaining to services, such as education or entertainment. It also measures durable goods, such as cars, appliances, and other items that last for a long time, and non-durables, like fuel. Usually, the PCE reveals a lower inflation rate than the CPI, but it is a predictable report that bears little impact on the markets.
So the Federal Reserve chooses to use the PCE, or that's their preferred gauge of inflation, because it takes into account consumers switching from certain goods to another type of good because of the fact that prices are higher. When you're looking at the CPI, which we also look at as another gauge of inflation, which is the core price index, that also shows what, or gives an indication of inflation for particular goods and services, but it's usually a fixed basket of goods of services over a particular year. So the Federal Reserve chooses to use the personal consumption expenditures index as their preferred gauge because of the fact that it doesn't use that fixed asset or fixed consumer goods and services. It actually can show the differences and gauges the consumer spending month over month. And so it can sometimes be considered a little bit more of an accurate depiction of what actually is happening with consumer spending. Like it said in the video, people may choose, if they see that steak is going up too high, they may choose to decide to buy hamburger or pork or chicken or something else. So that's why they choose to use the PCE, which sometimes also excludes other volatile energy and food prices, and it looks at more of the buying habits and savings of consumers. So that's why they choose to use this number. So we came out with these numbers recently this past week, and the reason why the stock market and in turn the crypto market went down this past week is that the numbers are still quite high. So consumer spending increased by 1.8% in January compared to the last month of December. Income considers to continuously climbs up 0.6%, and that's part of the reason why you see people are still spending, because people are still, getting decent income and seeing increases in their income. Wages jump 0.9%, as you see here, and then the core PCE price index rises 0.6%, and it's up 4.7% over the past year. So it's up 4.7% from what it was in January of 2022. So since this U.S. consumer spending is increased, and it's up at its highest in nearly 2 years, we are likely to see that the Federal Reserve will continue to raise interest rates into the summer. Clearly, tighter monetary policy has yet to fully impact consumers and shows that the Fed has more work to do in slowing down aggregate demand. This report all ensures that the Fed will continue on its rate hiking campaign for a lot longer than markets anticipated just a few weeks ago. We saw that there was a nice little bump up in prices in stocks as well as cryptocurrencies over the past 5 to 6 weeks, and now we're starting to see a little bit of a pullback, partly due to these numbers that have come out over this past week. So we'll see if we're going to go back down to the levels that we saw earlier this year, at the beginning of the year, at the end of last year, or is this just going to be a little bit of a bounce? But considering the fact that the Federal Reserve is going to continue to likely raise interest rates, we could see that people are a little bit undecided or sketchy as to what they should do. So they may continue to sell and try to hold on to as much cash as possible, as opposed to holding on to more speculative stocks and cryptocurrency and digital assets. Let's go to some of the biggest news stories in the NFT and crypto space. Spotify, which is the largest streaming service, is testing token-enabled music playlists. So basically what this means is that you'll have an opportunity to, depending on what NFTs that you hold, you can use your crypto wallet to then be able to have access to certain playlists, and then eventually will probably be, have access to certain artists and certain music. And so they're testing this now. And so the pilot is currently available for Android users in the US, the UK, Germany, Australia, and New Zealand. And so the music streaming service is calling it token-enabled playlists. So if you have certain NFTs, which include Fluff, Moonbirds, Kingship, and Overlord, you will then have access to these curated playlists that were created for people who hold these particular NFTs. As you can see here, Overlord is one of the NFTs that has partnered with Spotify for this pilot. So you'll be able to connect your wallet that holds that Overlord NFT to the Spotify app, and then you'll have access to this created playlist. Creeps is a very popular NFT project. So if you hold Creeps, you will then be able to connect that Web3 wallet, as we see here on Spotify, to access the community's curated invasion playlist. Now, we're not exactly sure what is part of this playlist, but I'm sure that there's a lot of popular songs that was curated to be a part of this pilot program. And we see here, we have a look at what it's going to look like when you connect your wallet. So you'd be going on to Spotify. You'd be able to connect your wallet, as you see here, whether it's a MetaMask wallet, Rainbow wallet, Ledger Live, and there's all different types of NFT and cryptocurrency wallets that are out there. And you'll be able to connect the wallet, as you see here. Then once you connect, you have to sign. So we have to be very, very careful that we're on the official Spotify streaming app, because then when you connect it, you're giving Spotify access to your wallet. And then once you connect, you then have exclusive access to this particular playlist. So this is, once again, a pilot program. I'm sure they're going to, work out some kinks that inevitably usually occur for a pilot program. But this is something that we can all look forward to, and it is the future. So we need to make sure that we continue to learn as much as we can about Web3 and blockchain technology, because whether we like it or not, this is happening, and we believe that it is a incredible opportunity in this emerging market. Lastly, today we're going to talk about Coinbase and their introduction of Base, which is their blockchain that they are launching. They have a testnet that is launching now, and it is going to be built on top of Ethereum. So it is a layer 2 protocol. So it is going to be built on top of the layer 1 Ethereum smart contract platform, which, as we know, is the largest smart contract platform in the world. Currently, as we saw in the cryptocurrency listings, Ethereum is still right behind Bitcoin on the top of the cryptocurrency charts. And so you see here today, Coinbase announced that the testnet launch of Base is a network offering a secure, low-cost, developer-friendly way for anyone, anywhere to build decentralized apps, which are known as dApps, on-chain. So their goal is to, what they say, make on-chain the next online. And they're working to build and onboard upwards of 1 billion plus users into the crypto economy. What we're working on and what we're hearing now is, with blockchain technology, just like the internet, we're going to be onboarding people on being on chain with more transparency, with more opportunities to have decentralized applications and make it scalable and secure. And that's the whole point of using blockchain technology. And so they're incubating Base inside of Coinbase, which would be able to leverage Coinbase's services, as well as what they have over 100 million users currently. So this will obviously be a great incentive for many people who are developing applications and learning to develop applications on the blockchain. They could consider Base, which is another layer 2 on top of Ethereum. Let's just play this quick video so you can have a general understanding of what Base is. So as you can see, there are going to be all these different types of applications that can be built on top of Base, and it will be a lot cheaper and hopefully faster than using the layer 1 Ethereum blockchain. As we know that there are also other layer 2 blockchains out there. Polygon Matic, for example, is one of the more popular L2s that are built on top of Ethereum. So now we have Base as another opportunity for developers to create decentralized applications and be able to build on chain. So you see here, it's secured by the Ethereum layer 1. It's also empowered by Coinbase. So you'll have access to Coinbase products, users, and tools, as well as various on-ramps. And also you have these features with the addition of smaller fees, which is also obviously very important, because if there's going to be a lot of transaction, a lot of scale, you're going to want it to be as cheap as possible. And it's open source. So Base aims to be decentralized, permissionless, and open to anyone with the vision of creating a standard, modular, roll-up, agnostic superchain powered by Optimism. We're joining Optimism as a core developer on the open source OP stack and working to create a thriving community of other developers. So that's a little bit more technical, but basically they're looking to have a core development team that are working on these different types of applications and creating something that's open to all developers. And they're going to be open and using this testnet currently, and then at some point they plan on launching the main net in the near future. So you can go to the Coinbase networkchain.com blog and learn a little bit more information about Base. And we look forward to following through to see what happens with Base and its ecosystem. As you can see, these are the different platforms and applications, I should say, that will be compatible with Base, and obviously there's going to be many more. They're also coming up with the Base Ecosystem Fund, which is basically an investment fund that's going to invest and support early stage projects that are looking to build on Base. So if you have a idea and you're interested in the blockchain space and developing apps, decentralized applications, you can find out some more information here. So we're really excited. Coinbase is the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States, has a lot of weight in the cryptocurrency space, as well as it being fully regulated in the United States. This is a positive sign with regards to Ethereum and blockchain technology moving forward. So we definitely will keep you posted as usual as to what's going on in the cryptocurrency markets and the NFT markets. Stay tuned here with Networkchain. In the meantime, take care. We look forward to linking up with you soon. Bye-bye.